it's Lighthouse Angel here. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you're new to this channel, on this channel we focus on taking you from zero to hero in your own life, giving you the tools and information that you need to grow and expand and become in alignment with the best version of yourself, and always keeping the divine number one. Okay? Now, I already got the overall energy for the reading. I was called to several different decks and a scripture, all of which I didn't pick these cards. This is what came out of those decks. I'm going to pull a couple of more cards and then get some messages from the box of wisdom to get more clarity on this message. But I can already tell it's going to be full of truth and it's going to be deep. So let's get started. I also have a message to deliver to you that I've actually been thinking about the last few days, and I finally put it down on paper, the message to deliver, okay? So we're going to start with that, and then we'll get into the reading, okay? So here is the message I've been guided to deliver to you, okay? And you may either want to take notes or play it, re-listen to it a couple of times. It's somewhat lengthy, but very impactful, okay? So here we go. Are you choosing to lead your life for impact or image? When you choose image, nobody is going to remember your pictures, your style, or how many likes or followers you had. It's a race where you never seem to reach the finish line. Image is fragile. You can be in the spotlight one day and be overlooked the next. Image provides the safety of validation, allowing yourself to be the puppet while others pull the strings. Image requires the illusion of perfection to receive approval. But with impact, you can touch the heart of just one person, which has a lasting effect for generations. With impact, you can create change long after you are gone. Impact walks in purpose, leading with truth that never bends, molds, or breaks. Impact doesn't require perfection. It's through embracing your imperfections with love that may become the guiding light for others. Image finds strength in what you visibly see, while impact is driven by the power within your heart and soul. So which one will you choose? Okay, that's the message. It's very deep and something that needs to be really thought about. So I'm not going to elaborate too much, but I suggest listening to it, making notes on it, journaling about it, even thinking about it in meditation, okay? All right, so let's get started on this reading. Now, the first animal spirit that came out is the lion, which is higher calling, which is interesting because I felt like, this card came flying out. And I thought, well, that's interesting, kind of goes with the message at the beginning of the reading. You have within you all of the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. Okay. I'm hearing you have a higher calling, but it requires you to let go of the past and stepping in your courage. I'm hearing you're going to have support by your side, and this is going to be your soul tribe. That's what I'm hearing. This is going to be your soul tribe. Lions could be significant, or you could be a Leo or have heavy Leo in your chart. Okay. And then the next card to fly out was soul harmony. So that could be your heart, your soul is pulling on you that you have a higher calling, and that's going to create harmony here. It says, find work that resonates with your true purpose, mission to fulfill. Okay, so your higher calling has a mission. You have a mission to fulfill here. And it's going to bring harmony to your soul. So if your soul has been screaming at you or unsettled, never, like maybe it's feeling like it's not finding contentment. That's what I'm hearing. It's because you need to align with your true purpose here. That you have a higher calling, a mission to fulfill here. Okay? And if you're not clear on this, then you've got to get out of distractions. You need to find a quiet space to get that clarity from the divine. Okay? Because clearly you have a higher calling, there's a mission here, and through this, and I'm hearing answering the call, your soul is going to find peace and harmony. Okay? Because it's going to resonate with your soul. And then the scripture we got, you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. Yeah, and I'm getting this. This is where you have to seek the divine with all your heart, right? I'm hearing not halfway in, with your full heart here. Right? And 29 is 11 and 13 is 4. And what I'm getting is like that's the number 11 is the divine number, and number 4 signifies to me is healing. So it's like letting the divine heal you, heal your heart. And I feel like the divine is ready to answer your questions, answer your soul's calling here, but you have to seek him with all of your heart here, not halfway in. That's what I'm hearing. Because you have a higher purpose here, a higher calling. I'm hearing your soul knows the way. And if you're ignoring it or replacing it with other things, it's going to keep you unsettled, unsatisfied, I'm hearing. Right? Chasing more, needing more. Right? But when you step into your purpose and your mission that you're here to fulfill, right? Then you step into contentment, peace, joy, happiness, peace within your soul, okay? And then these two came out. It says, if something deep within you tells you that something is not quite right, trust it. If you are unhappy in your life, change something. It is entirely up to you. Stop making excuses. You are in control of your own life. And what's funny is I didn't read these. This really resonates with what I just said. It's about stepping into your mission, what your soul is calling you to do, which is this higher purpose here. Right? Maybe you've been making excuses, or maybe I'm hearing dodging it. Maybe you're trying to dodge it. Even though you're not happy. Okay? You need to be listening to what your heart and your soul is telling you, because it's going to continue to scream at you until you answer. Okay? So it's time to stop making excuses and start taking control of your happiness, of your purpose, of your soul's calling here. Okay? And then it says, your time is coming. Everything is coming together for you, but you must meet the universe halfway. Hold only a bright and happy vision of yourself with successful outcomes, and don't allow your fears or insecurities to stand in your way. Okay? Maybe that's something like, maybe you understand that you have a higher calling here or a mission to fulfill, that your soul is calling you to move forward on, but maybe you're worried about the outcome or your fears or insecurities, right? And the divine is telling you, you got to meet me halfway and hold a bright and happy vision of yourself, that this will have a successful outcome, right? And then we have the freedom of truth, number 12. It says, communicate honestly, be who you truly are. Maybe this is something you feel like, I'm hearing, is holding you back. Like your soul is calling for you to have the freedom to speak your truth. Like being able to communicate honestly. Maybe you feel that because you're not able to, it's keeping you in this unhappy place in your life. Right? It's time to take your control back of your own light, right? Maybe you're allowing others to pull the strings in your own life here, like I was saying at the beginning of the reading here. And I'm also hearing like, you have a gift of truth. That's what I'm hearing. You have a gift of truth. Okay. And then we have number 30. It is cosmic diamond. Spread hope and joy and illuminate the world. Okay, so this might be your higher calling or your soul's mission here, is to speak your truth and by doing so, it's spreading hope and joy and illuminating the world. Okay? And I feel like the divine is here saying, I'm here to guide you on this, but you have to seek me with all of your heart. Okay? Cosmic diamond, okay? A diamond is created under pressure, right? I just heard the world needs your truth. Okay? I'm also hearing it's your light that's going to illuminate the world. That's what I'm hearing. And that illumination could be in truth. Okay, maybe you feel like you're not operating out of authenticity. Maybe you're feeling like you can't be who you truly are, right? Because you are, I'm hearing constraints. I'm also hearing rules and constraints. Okay. All right, I'm going to get one more card and then we'll get some messages from the box of wisdom. But I feel like I'm also hearing like self-reflection is necessary right now. This is about understanding the path. That's what I'm hearing. We have to the sea. I'm going to get these at the bottom as well. So to the sea, number 7. This is, there's a face up here. I feel like this is the divine guiding you here. Maybe you're going to be speaking truth to people here, spreading your light, giving people hope and joy back in their lives here. Right? This woman in this boat, right? There's, divine is pointing the way here. You could have already seen signs about this, but this woman in the boat, now, we don't do gender, so it could be male, female, in this boat here. Right? I feel like it comes with this. It's like this woman, she's looking down in this boat here. Like she's unsure. It's like, I feel like this resonates with these fears and insecurities, right? And the divine is saying, you need to focus on this having a successful outcome, because this is your mission that you're here to fulfill, and the divine is leading you here. Okay? I'm hearing, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the positive things that can happen, or the negative things that can happen? Okay? She's also alone in this boat with the divine here, right? Without any distractions. I also feel, male or female, this is something that's required right now. Maybe you've been asking for clarity. That's how you're going to get it. Okay? Because divine is asking you to seek him with all of your heart here. Okay? Because the divine is leading you to your blessing here. It says, by the book, and this is number 11, which is a divine number. I've always looked at this as, this is God and Jesus and you, and the divine and Jesus is leading you out of this barren desert. I'm hearing a desert of lessons, a desert of life lessons here, right? And is leading you to your blessings here. Number 22 could be significant, but it says blessed. And it's like, here you are in this boat, right? Letting the divine guide you, right? You gotta believe in yourself, right? Standing in your confidence, knowing that this is your higher calling, your soul's mission here, right? Even though you may feel alone, right? But the divine is leading you to your blessings here. Okay? This is leading you to, I'm hearing, having a blessed life. That's what I'm hearing. Having a blessed life. Because I'm hearing you are this cosmic diamond here. I'm also hearing hidden gem. I just heard hidden gem, okay? And like I said, you don't become this hidden gem, right? This diamond without being under heavy, heavy pressure, right? a lot of life lessons. You can't be that bright light for others that illuminates the world with hope and joy if you haven't been through it, right? You can't, to embrace that depth of wisdom, you have to be able to have walked through the fire and to create that impact, right? Okay. All right, so I'm going to move these up so you can see them. And now I'm going to get some messages from the box of wisdom. Let's see what else. Okay. I'm hearing the message is clear. That's what I'm hearing. The message is clear. Okay. I'm hearing, are you ready to step all in? Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Okay? Be careful who you trust because salt and sugar look the same. Okay. Maybe you need to, and it's like we have the light and the dark. Okay? Healed, and I'm hearing healed and unhealed. Okay? So be careful who you surround yourself with, or I'm hearing check your circle. I just heard check your circle. Okay? Take care of your inner spiritual beauty. That will reflect in your face. Right? Well, it's what you think, maintaining that higher vibration, that higher alignment with positive energy, right? Being grateful, operating out of love, right? Continuing to think positive about yourself, about others, about your situation, focusing on what you want, not what you lack, right? Being grateful, feeling that joy in your life in the present moment. All of those things will reflect on your face. Okay? That's why when you see people who operate out of fear and a lower vibration, and all they do is sit in worry and fear, they tend to age faster because of all of that negative energy that they're constantly holding on to, right? The stress of all of that. Okay? But when you surrender and you go with the flow, you let the divine lead you, and you release those worries and fears, and you step into the light with that higher vibration of love, of trust and faith and gratitude, right? You can find that peace within, that joy, that all reflects on your face, right? So make sure you take care of your spiritual beauty, right? Okay. That's why some people they don't look like their age. Okay, yes, some of it's genetics, yes. But a lot of it plays into, their vibration, their alignment. What they're focusing on and how they choose to live when it comes to their mindset. Okay. We have earth. Okay. So you could be an earth sign, or I'm also hearing going out into nature with where you can get away from those distractions to get the clarity, right? To get the answers from the divine. Okay. You know, getting out in nature is perfect, because especially if you leave your phone, right? And you just get out there and surrender to that silence, right? Where you can hear the divine speak to you and guide you on this path here, which is your higher calling, your soul's purpose here. It says, sometimes your truth will bring out the worst in others. Your honesty might make them uncomfortable. Your love will tingle what they've numbed. Your authenticity will provoke closed minds. Your success will attract haters. Your empowerment will create enemies. Your compassion will unmask envy. Your truth will reveal many mental prisons, but it also help to set even more minds free. Success is living your truth and sharing it. Yeah. There are, you know, the truth can bring out and will bring out the worst in others, right? It's very triggering, okay? But it also is exactly the very thing that many souls and hearts are seeking, right? This light, this diamond of a light that spreads hope and joy and illuminating the world here, right? It's going to make people uncomfortable. It's going to provoke closed minds. It's going to get people tingling where they've been numb, right? It's going to unmask envy. It's going to attract haters. You know, and I'm not saying it's going to have all these things, right? But this is what comes with it, right? But it also helps to set even more minds free, okay? Success is living in your truth, right? Because truth will always outlive any lies, right? Because they're solid, they're unshakable. I'm hearing, right? And you know, some of these things you have to understand, right? But when people are triggered, or people become uncomfortable, or people who have their mask slip, right? Then they're forced to have to make a choice. Do they choose to change, or do they choose to stay stuck? Right? But you give them that option by living in your truth. Okay? Therefore, he is able to save completely those who come to God through him, because he always lives to intercede for them. Hebrews 7:25. Yeah, this is all seeking God with all of your heart here. Right? I'm just hearing I don't know, I'm hearing it's not too late. That's what I'm hearing. It's not too late. It's for somebody. Maybe you're thinking, you know, I've made too many mistakes, or why me, or, you know, or maybe there's someone better for this, or something to that effect. And the divine is like, it's not too late. I'm hearing, I picked you. The divine has picked you for this. Okay? Right? I'm hearing you're the speaker of truth. We have the letter E. Okay? Take that how that resonates for you. I got eternity on that when I first saw it. I'm also getting enlightenment as well. It's not about being the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Yeah. Don't, whatever this higher calling is, this soul's purpose here, right? Where you're supposed to illuminate the world and spread your hope and joy by speaking your truth, right? Being who you truly are here. Okay? It's not about doing it the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday, right? Because nobody starts as an expert, right? You have to start as a beginner. And then you grow and evolve, and the experiences shape you and expand you into a better version, right? They build that foundation to becoming the best. So focus on whatever you're doing, that you're just making it better than you were yesterday, right? And finding purpose in that. God is our refuge and our strength and our ever-present help in times of trouble. Yeah. Seek God to give you strength in this situation, okay? I'm also hearing you're enough, okay? You are enough for this. Maybe you're feeling like, I'm also getting this. God is our refuge and our strength and an ever-present help in times of trouble. I feel like that is the message, part of the message you're supposed to send here. Because people are looking for help. People are in trouble. Their souls are in trouble. And God is the refuge here, the strength. That may be the message that you're meant to deliver, being this cosmic diamond here. Okay? Travatude. When you start to feel grumpy and sassy because you miss traveling. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so maybe you're feeling grumpy and sassy because you miss traveling. Right? Well, it's time to maybe release that grumpiness, right? And start making some travel plans, right? So you can step in this best version of you, right? Also, I'm getting that traveling may be coming. Maybe you need a vacation, which is why you have this travatude, right? To become a cosmic diamond, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of trials and lessons and, walking through the fire, right? To be able to be that, right? So I'm hearing exhausted from life. You could be feeling you're exhausted from life. And this may have something to do here, right? Something deep within you tells you that something is not quite right. Trust it. If you're unhappy, maybe you're working too much and it's making you feel unhappy, right? And grumpy and sassy because you're not able to travel. Right? It's time to embrace freedom here so you can start traveling again. When the ego is lost, limit is lost. You become infinite, kind, and beautiful. In losing the ego, you gain a universe within. This is where your true beauty resides, unburdened by comparison or competition. As the ego fades, kindness flows effortlessly, and you see the interconnectedness of all beings. Yeah, that's this freedom of truth, being this cosmic diamond here, right? By letting go of the ego, right? You become this infinite, kind, and beautiful diamond here. Where true beauty resides, unburdened by comparison or competition, right? Kindness flows effortlessly, and you see the interconnectedness of all beings. That's also the definition of alignment. Okay? When you are in alignment with your higher self, you feel the interconnectedness of all beings. Okay? All right. Let's see. We have, let's see. Yeah, the Eight of Pentacles. Sorry about that. The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, and that's what I'm getting with this travel here. So the Eight of Pentacles is working really hard. I'm hearing relentless. Okay, so maybe you're somebody who's a workaholic, or you relentlessly are working, right? Maybe you're working really hard on something, trying to reach a goal, or I'm hearing a milestone, okay? Which is maybe why you're in this travel-tude, right? Well, it's time to release that grumpiness, right? Sassiness can be a good thing, right? But maybe it's time for a day trip. You know, if you don't have the means or the resources or the time, maybe you just do a day trip, right? Change the energy, change the environment, maybe go out in nature. Do something that you love doing. We have the Ten of Swords. Okay. The Ten of Swords is an end of a painful cycle. Okay? So if you're somebody who has just, I'm also getting this, it just came to me right now. This Ten of Swords, all of these painful experiences where you were stabbed in the back, or someone hurt you, or a life experience, right? That I'm hearing broke you. It broke you. I'm hearing it transformed you into this cosmic diamond. And every one of these swords, okay, that you healed from in order to become this cosmic diamond, you transformed all this pain into power, which is what you did in the pressure of having to heal all of these, right? To step in your power. To be that guiding light for others where they can find their hope and joy after experiencing pain of this level, this magnitude. Right? Through all these painful experiences, God is turning it into a higher purpose here. Okay? But this cycle is over, all right? This is why Maybe you're carrying some fears or insecurities, right? And then divine is like, I need you to meet me halfway because this cycle is over. I'm now turning this into your purpose, but I need you to keep holding on to this bright and happy vision of yourself as this cosmic diamond, right? I'm hearing you stand out. You naturally stand out. Which is why, going back to this, okay? You could have been somebody who was walking in your truth and thought that you were surrounded by people who were sugar, but they were actually salt, and they put these swords in your back, right? Well, they created purpose now in your life with being this diamond, okay? It wasn't wasted. You know, any tear that's shed, any pain that you go through, right? When you choose to transform it into something positive in your life with purpose, the divine's going to use it for a higher purpose, okay? But what I'm getting with these 12 swords here, you could have been somebody who walked in your truth, and every one of these swords represented somebody that you triggered, okay? And not having, you know, one of the lessons you may have learned is not knowing how your truth may affect people and how to protect yourself from that, okay? But this transformed you into something super powerful here, okay? And like I said, the divine never wastes a tear. It all has purpose. Now, when you sit in fear and a lower vibration and a lack mindset and negativity, and you choose to stay stuck there, you're not really giving the divine much to work with, okay? But this season of this pain, being backstabbed by people, I'm hearing backstabbed by people that you offered love to. You know, it could be unconditional love, as you know, because you're this diamond, okay? And this diamond makes people uncomfortable. It provokes closed minds. It attracts haters. It creates enemies. It unmasks envy, right? All these things, you know, that people do behind your back here, right? By you just walking in your truth. So you've got to let the divine guide you, right? Because you're going to be blessed. You're going to be protected. You need some traveling here, right? Because you've been working really hard. But this cycle is over. And I feel like now you have the knowledge, right? About what your truth does and how it is triggering. And you know the difference between salt and sugar, right? And who to trust. Maybe these people made, you know, like you interacted with them and you thought you could trust them. Meanwhile, they put a sword in your back because you triggered something in them by just operating your truth. But just know this, okay? That's confirmation on my computer. Just know this. The divine is leading you, all right, to your blessings here, okay? And you are divinely protected. This is your higher calling. This is your mission, okay? Which tells me the divine is going to protect you on this journey. okay? But you need to meet them halfway and hold that vision that this is going to have a successful outcome, right? I'm hearing you hold the power and you hold the key. Okay? All right. So let's close this up with a couple cards. And make sure you take a time for yourself, right? Getting away and giving you, the time to I'm hearing disconnect. You need time to disconnect. That's what I heard. Okay. Instead of praying for an outcome, I pray for the highest good for all. Okay. And then it says, my capacity to tune in to the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. Yeah. Focus on the highest good for all, okay? When it comes to your path here, maybe you're praying for an outcome, right? But remember, the divine knows what's best for you, right? So make sure that you release expectations and hope for the highest good for all here. Okay? And what I'm getting right here, it's like there's this big moon here, and then like she's sitting on this big bubble as well. Like they look identical. So it says you're being blessed here, right? Maybe you have your idea on what that is going to be or what that outcome is, right? But you need to focus on the highest good for all, right? Because the divine knows what's best for you, and know and stay tuned in on that energy of love, right? Having that compassion. Okay? All right. And then I'm going to get one angel number here. Number 29. If you're seeing that number, it's just a confirmation that this is your reading. It says, you are highly intuitive and creative. Your mind thinks in pictures, and you seem to draw information and ideas from out of the sky. A powerful drive to know the oneness of all things. I am insightful. Okay. And that's what I'm getting here with this person and this unicorn are speaking to this people. It's like you're insightful. You're able to communicate truth here. It says the freedom of truth, and spread this hope and joy that illuminates the world here. I'm also hearing, okay, this man's, was male or female, but this is a man in this thing. It's his throat chakra is lit up. It's like it's hitting every single one of these people. Okay? But it's also coming off this unicorn's heart chakra here. Heart space, as well as the crown chakra. So it's like, it's the spreading of this light into other individuals. That's what I'm getting, right? Being insightful. Maybe you're going to be a speaker, right, of truth here on people who feel stuck. I'm also hearing there could be other people praying for a certain outcome, but it's going to work out for the highest good for all here. Okay? It could be, you know, people are praying for an outcome that you go one direction, but because you're choosing another direction, it's going to be the highest good for all. Because I'm getting like E is for everyone. At the bottom of the deck, we have an 1111. This is divine number here. The universe is arranging people and experiences on your path to help you succeed and helping you wake up to who you truly are. I am awakening. That could be what you're doing here, is creating an awakening, a spiritual awakening within people by being who you truly are, speaking this truth and illuminating the world here. I'm also hearing fearless. Okay. But just know the divine, this is a divinely protected purpose here, right? It has, I'm hearing impact. It's going to have impact. And they're arranging people and experience to help you succeed on this path, okay? All right, that's the message I have for you today. I hope it's resonated with you. I hope it's giving you clarity and information that you need to get unstuck and get moving forward in your life so that you can grow and expand into the best version of yourself. But if it didn't resonate with you, please check back tomorrow. I do daily readings Monday through Friday. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, because it's readings like this that, you know, really need to get to the people who need them the most. But until tomorrow, I hope you have a great Tuesday, and I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.